What is up, guys? Zach Ginn here, and welcome. In today's video, I'm going to do an exciting one for all of my Propstream fans out there and fans of listrei.com. I will be polling and actually just sharing with you the top 7 lists for wholesaling real estate when it comes to Propstream. So pretty exciting video. I'm a big fan of Propstream, aka listrei.com, and for some time now, I have been a huge fan of that service, and I think it's a great one to use. So I'm really going to be breaking down today exactly the top list to do. I really want to explain the lists in great detail because if you are pulling these lists, I really want you to understand it and how it's working. I truly believe that I'm a big believer in understanding exactly what you're like pulling, and I think it's really good to understand this information. So before I get into it, guys, remember to smash that like button and subscribe. It helps the YouTube algorithm so I can help you go over $100,000 per year in wholesaling real estate profits. Again, everything I talk about it's honestly all on freewholesaling.com, but we're really not here to talk about freewholesaling.com today. We're here to talk about Propstream, aka listrei.com. So listrei.com right here. Let me get the link for you. Listrei.com. That is what I use. So that's basically Propstream, and that's how you pull these types of lists. And I get in trouble for making a top whatever video for wholesaling real estate because I feel like I am excluding certain people out and certain lists that are really good. So in this list, you're really not going to see some really good government lists. You're not going to see code violations. I'm not going to include the divorce list on there. You can get it just from the government, and it works pretty well. I'm not a huge fan on Propstream lists that you can get on other places, except maybe some. I'm not gonna spoil the list right now, but let's break it down, guys. And also, guys, this is live. It's 5:08 p.m. So I have to prove to everyone this is a live video for some reason. I keep getting asked because apparently the video quality is so good you can't see if it's live or not, which makes no sense to me. I mean, if this was not live, it'd look way better. So let's break it down, guys. So let's get some questions we got really quick before we hop on. Q4 began today. This is a great update, of course. This is money, of course. It's kind of why I came to the conclusion that this is the video to do today for you guys all live. Is first of all, you guys have a question, y'all can just hop on and ask me. I'm always here. Let me hop on the StreamYard link too. So for everyone watching this, I'm going to put it in the chat. So this is the link. Also, a quick announcement. I am now on Twitch, apparently. So it took me about 5 seconds to make that. So I am at Zachary Ginn on Twitch. Some person with a very, very awesome name. Zach Ginn took the username. So we are Zachary Ginn on Twitch. So all my gamers, where are you at? Guys, let's break it down. So Propstream's amazing, guys. What is up? I'm seeing everyone in here. Let's go. List our list. Let's go. We got the zombie list. It's great. But Propstream has been a really good big godsend for my business, and it's truly been a big factor of a lot of my success when it comes to my direct mail, a lot of my SMS campaigns, a lot of my cold calling, just to be honest. Of course, we do a lot of government lists, but lately Propstream's really helped me just up the game with it. And I'm not here to just talk, oh, Propstream's the best thing since sliced bread. There's other services out there. Batch has a really, really good list pulling service, but just the slight edge I have to give to listrei.com. And it's just hands down, it's one of my favorite ones, and it's been amazing. So we're just exclusively going to be talking about Propstream today. So if you want to hop on, here's the StreamYard link. I will request we're going to keep on topic today because I don't want to just have like 50 Q&As and it's like, oh, is he going to talk about Propstream in this Q&A or not? Let's keep this Q&A straight on pulling list on Propstream, and I think we'll do pretty good on it. So let's break it down, guys. Make sure you guys can hear me right, hear me good. I would appreciate that. I don't want any audio problems to go on today. So I'm just basically shooting at the hip here. Maybe my microphone might not even be on, but we'll see what we can do here. But let's break it down. Top 7. I like to keep it pretty simple with it. I really want to give an honorable mention I feel like this is cheating for me to say this, but let's go at number 8. So I promised you 7. Let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7. Let's do number 8 here. I'm going to do top 8. This is going to be honorable mention. Okay. Like just with Propstream, listrei.com. I love Propstream, but I can tell you right now, this is the reason why Propstream has the slight edge for me and why I really like Propstream. And it's because it comes with, I mean, you got to pay for the service, obviously, but it comes with a Drawing for Dollars app. I love Drawing for Dollars. Everyone who watches my lives a lot knows I am a fiend for Drawing for Dollars. I am obsessed with it. I think it's amazing. I think cold calling's amazing. You can do the best of both worlds. Hashtag Hannah Montana. My younger people understand this, people my age. But I have a sister. She made me watch a lot of Hannah Montana growing up. So I've seen it all. But all jokes aside, guys, it is truly the best of both worlds when it comes to wholesaling real estate. Because you get the power of cold calling, and then you get the power of a list that no one else cold calls. How do you beat this list? I literally don't know. It's a great one. Drawing for Dollars is great. So Propstream has a Drawing for Dollars app in it, and it's amazing. You can drive around town with it. It works really well. It's hands down probably the top list if you can. But we're talking about polling lists on Propstream, so you can't really poll the list on Drawing for Dollars for wholesaling real estate. So I'm not going to include that. But an honorable mention, there's a Drawing for Dollars app in Propstream. I have all the tutorials at freewholesaling.com. You guys want to learn it, it's all in there. But right now, Drawing for Dollars is going to be number 8 here. And let's really break it down. So this is going to be in no particular order. I don't want people to think I'm doing favoritisms for some of these lists, but these lists are off the charts. They're amazing. They're pretty good. Oh, we got someone watching on Twitch. All right. I'm a Twitch legend now. That's awesome. Call me Ninja. All right. So let's break it down. So number 7 here. Right now, I think it's tax lien season. And should I announce this? I think I should. Stay tuned for tomorrow. We are doing a tax lien breakdown. Like you are going to, like, your head is going to be like exploding on the amount of information, because tomorrow I got Rick with me, and he's my dad. I call him Dad, but everyone's like, oh, you call him Rick. I call him Rick for you guys, so it makes sense. Okay. Because like, who's this guy's dad? Why is this dad going? So he's going to join me tomorrow, and we're going to hopefully every week we can choose a topic and really do a deep dive on it so you completely understand it. And we're going to do a deep dive on tax liens, because so many people are just avoiding their taxes due to the situations going on in today's events. Not going to say a word for the algorithm. Just not demonetize the channel. I don't really care about that. It's just they don't promote it to other wholesaling like people if I say the COV word. So I'm not going to spell the rest. I'm too scared of this algorithm. But due to that nature of what's happening, a lot of people are not paying their taxes, and there's going to be a huge influx of tax liens and some other stuff I'm really going to explain. So why I'm making an updated list for 2022 and last quarter here for 2021 is this is a complete, like, the list that I would do last year is completely different than the one I do this year. A lot of events have changed. There's a new presidential administration, basically, and love it or hate it, you have to like roll with the punches or the waves. When Donald Trump was president, we could take advantage of other types of marketing. Now that Joe Biden's president, we can take advantage of other types. So with Trump, we could go after more high equity leads, and that worked a lot better. Now with President Joe Biden, he is a lot more, I don't know how to put this, but like he's a lot more sympathetic, I guess, I would say, to not landlords, but tenants. So he's putting a lot of pressure on a lot of landlords, and that causes a good advantage for us for like a tired landlord list, for a lot of other lists for wholesaling real estate. So the thing I can tell you is tax lien is going to be a really good one. A lot of people are not being able to pay their taxes with the memorandums of you don't have to pay your mortgage. They think, oh, I don't have to pay taxes. There's going to be a big influx of it, and I think it's going to be a really good advantage for the new year. So I have to say tax liens is going to be a really, really good one. It's hands down, it's a very good one. So I would say tax liens, hands down, is going to be a huge one. I would start getting on that one. So number 7 here is tax liens. Really, for my filters for tax liens, I would say I would keep equity at like 50%. I wouldn't really do a higher equity one on this one. Make sure they've owned it for at least 2 years on this one, and make sure it's not on the market, obviously, and then look at what price to do it. So when we're pulling data, I wanna break this down to you. Let's do. Guys, can someone comment below what market they're in? I'll do analysis on your market real quick, just for pulling on Propstream, listrei.com. I think it'll help someone else. If someone just comment, just say a market real quick in the chat, and I can kind of just pull it up for you and kind of show you what, when I'm pulling a list on Propstream in that market, what I'd be looking for. And see the first comment, we got, oh wait, Juan got Seattle. Actually, Juan beat everyone to it. So, all right, now everyone's commenting. I think the software has a slight delay. So I'll show you, I'll do a couple of them. So what we're going to do here is, all I'm really going to do is like, okay, I got to pull list in Seattle. So I'm not going to do Seattle. Sorry, Juan. Juan, you're an amazing. Love the support. We're probably going to do King County. Okay. That's honestly, if we're going to do some deals in Seattle, we're probably going to do King County. I think that's Seattle's, right? Yes. King County. All right, let's do this. All right. So we're going to do, basically what we're going to do here. No, that's the wrong one. Let's see. Where is it? There we go. Just popping up. Sale price. So what I'm going to do here is pull up the median sales price. There we go. Is this it? Price. So. Oh. So I'm trying to find the actual URL here. All right, so it's right here. So basically what we're going to do, let me share my screen. Let's see here. All right, share. Basically going to go here and got home value. We're going to go to data. Wait. Home value Seattle. Yeah, they don't want to pop it out. I'm just going to do this one. We'll do Boston. It was not popping up for Seattle for some reason. Yeah. So we'll just do Redfin real quick. So for basically Seattle, I could see median price is $7.99. So we can kind of see the trend on here. So we're probably going to stay away from something like that. But like, let's say we go over here and we're going to do whatever the city that's kind of cheaper. Fort Lauderdale. We can do Fort Lauderdale. I love Fort Lauderdale. Fort Lauderdale. I need to do Broward County, honestly. I would probably do Broward County, but let's see here. Where was the Seattle housing market? So for Broward County, Realtor World is popping it here. Trying for the data. All right. So as we can see here, which one is it? All right. So Redfin's basically popping up here. So for Broward County, I mean, you got a median listing home price of, let's see, $350. So when we're pulling lists, we want to make sure that the 150 right here, we want to stay really a little above or below. So I probably won't go over 400. And that's kind of what we're going to do for now. And obviously, want to get out of some of the crazier outliers. We got a $15 million one that's probably by Los Olas or something crazy. Yeah, it's kind of by the water. Might be Lauderdale by the sea. So, and then you got some like $600 for a lot, 33 million. Got some recent sales. So we can see the sales price is obviously going up for a little bit, but Broward County is an interesting one. So that's kind of what we're going to do when, I love these people. That's basically what we're going to do for there. So Fort Lauderdale, that's kind of where we're going to pull these lists is we want to make sure it's within the median price. From there, that's what we really got to do. So Hollywood, it's basically it. Happy Thursday. What is up? But that's what we're going to do. So when we're pulling a list, let's say we're doing the tax lien list, we're going to make sure we're in that median price point just so we can kind of pull the data correctly. The next here, number 7 here is the credit card debt list. The credit card debt list or the credit card debt lien list, the Irs debt list or the Irs lien list. This is a really good list. These are people who are behind on their credit cards and they're behind on Irs liens. All you really got to do is go to Propstream, go on liens, and then go to the other category. All you got to do is click that right now and it will pop up. So that's pretty good. So right now, the credit card debt list, it's a great one. I highly recommend it. It's the other in the lien category. At least 30 to 40, I would say 40% equity. Let's make it safe. Let's play it safe. Make sure at least 40% equity on there. I think you should be fine. So that's a huge one to do. Next, here's the water shutoff. We just got to go to liens and go to utility liens here and pop it off. So obviously with everything going on, credit card debt list is going to be huge. Most people don't know actually how to pull that list. So it's going to be really, really good. So it's a really good one. Alrighty. So the next one here is the water shutoffs. Again, I think I said that before, but utility liens, that's how you pop it up. It's an amazing list. Hands down, I have to recommend this list. It's a great one. Not a lot of people know how to pull water shutoffs, and people don't really, they say, oh, we can't give the water shutoff list. I've actually seen this before, and it's kind of disheartening to see that, but I'm not going to argue with these people, or is it right that I can't see it or not? So to pull it, you just go to the utility lien list. You could pull it, the utility lien list will be public record. So it's pretty easy for Propstream listrei.com to pull it. So it's a great one to do from there. Next one here is going to be high equity vacants. And I think high equity vacants is a really good one. It's one of the just bread and butters for me. It's not going to get the most insane ROI possible, but it's an amazing list. And I have to hands down recommend it. So high equity list, at least above 60% of vacant properties. Those are really good. You can sprinkle in absentee owners if you want in there too, and it works pretty well. So definitely going to recommend that. Next here is probates, one of my favorite lists. I think probates are really amazing. And the cool part about pre-probates is how they pull this is kind of how they pull the vacant list data. So they pull vacant list data using the USPS. So the vacants are done by the United States Postal Service. And how they pull this data is there's a register of the entire country from the USPS, the United States Postal Service, of properties that you just keep getting mail and no one's picking them up. That's a vacant house. No one's living in the house. There's no point of the USPS actually going there sending mail there. And it's a really valuable list for us. And we actually pull it on PropStream, and it's a really good one. If these people own a property that's just sitting there dormant, they got to pay taxes on, and they own a lot of equity in the property, it's a really good one. So that's how you get vacants on there. You used to have to be a 501(c) charity to get this, and PropStream just lets you get it for not for free, but like obviously get the service for it. It works pretty cool. So that's why I really like it. With pre-probates, you used to have to go regular probates, knock on the door, knock, knock, knock. The clerk of the court. I mean, during these times you have to knock, but I just go in there or have to call for the probates. Always a big hassle, and everyone's doing it now. I preach it. I still pull probate to this day. It's Deontay Wilder to this day. But with pre-probates, the game has changed. Where what Propstream's doing here is they're going on death records. They're looking for death records. It just obituaries, just where the certificate of death's going. And hey, are these people who recently unfortunately passed away, did they own property? And they actually cross-reference it with their information and see, oh shoot, this person unfortunately passed away. Let's put them on the pre-probate list, where the probate is not being filed at all, but it's actually there's a special list for it. And that's been a really good game changer for us. We're starting to get some deals from this one. So it's a really good strategy. It's still, I'm not going to call it a staple for me, but it's definitely one, if you're in a very saturated market, I'd be going after right now. It's a really good one. And I don't know any other service that's doing this at all. So hands down, it's an amazing list. Go after it. Next here is the tired landlord list with high equity. What is a tired landlord? Basically a person that doesn't live in the property, but he owns a property. And most of the time, it's a landlord. And maybe they owned it for a while. They have a lot of equity and they just want to get rid of the property. There's a lot of deals that we do in this method, and it's a really, really awesome and effective one. And it's definitely one I would definitely recommend. So the tired landlord list, they're basically pulling people that have owned properties and they're not actually living in the house. Basically, they go off of mailing data on this one. It's really not that advanced. And we want to find these people who have a lot of equity in the house that just hate being a landlord. You know, they got to fix the toilets. There's the tenants always complaining about issues. Maybe they're not paying rent at all. This was a great one right when the moratorium started to come out in place, and it was a huge hassle. We did really good with the tired landlord list, so it's a really good list. Definitely one I have to recommend, and something you guys should be doing and going after. So the landlord list is really good. Next here is pre-foreclosure. So again, with tired landlord, 60% equity on this one. For probates, I'm telling you, I don't think equity matters because we do a lot of creative financing with it. So I'm not really going to call one better than the other. And number one here is pre-foreclosures. There's just going to be such a huge just wave of pre-foreclosures coming. Not now, not probably in the next couple months, but this is for all of 2022. They're going to start hitting more and more as the time goes throughout the year in 2022. So it's definitely going to be a really good one. So pre-foreclosures is going to be an amazing one. I would get equity at least 40% on this, but there's such a huge wave of people who are just going to lose their house, honestly. They haven't paid the mortgage and they just don't want to deal with it. And it's not going to be like 2008, 2009, but it's going to be a huge, I believe it's going to be a good little nice spike. That's my opinion. So you see little spikes of foreclosures. I think this is going to be a huge one. And you could save a lot of these people from getting a foreclosure. So it's a really good one. We're working on some videos really to break that down in more detail, but I think pre-foreclosure is going to be an amazing one. So that's kind of where I'm going at. Again, the whole entire Propstream training is at freewholesaling.com. Freewholesaling.com is literally where everything's at for me. There's nothing better than that right now. But outside of that, that's what I'd be doing. So you might be asking with these lists, Zach, what kind of marketing are you doing? And there's really just the big three, I would say. So smszach.com, I'm definitely I am just going hard in the paint with the SMS on it. But honestly, the best ROI you're going to find is I use Zach Dialer. So I'm going to dial these and skip trace it with it. You can skip trace the Propstream too, but I'm cold calling. I'm SMS text blasting. I'm sending mail out. I'm a big mail guy, but we have a big budget and we do a good amount of deals. So, I mean, we're 7-figure wholesaling operation. So I just don't think if you're making less than 100K per year in profit for wholesaling, you shouldn't be doing mail. This is kind of more advanced thing, but I'm here to help all wholesalers out. So I use mailzoc.com. I use the offer postcard on there, the offerpostcard.com. That's what I use. Got some cool stuff in the works with it, but I'm just telling you what I do. So I do mail, I do SMS text blasting, and that's just basically all I do. So I do other stuff, but mainly that's my top 3 I've been using lately, and it's been pretty good for me. So That's sort of where I'm at with it. That's Propstream, aka listrei.com. Let's see what questions I got, see how I can help the people out, and see what's going on. So let's change the camera here. All right, and let's pop it up. All right. I think y'all can see me, right? Yeah. All right, cool. Let's pop some questions up here. Let's see what we got. So happy Thursday. What's up, Cumberland? Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. Hey, Zach, how often or after how many calls should you change your Google Voice number? So that's a great one. I recommend you change your Google Voice number. I would say for Google Voice, I think once it's just on spam likely, you just call your own number with it, and spam likely is probably going to pop up, and that's probably the one I would probably be doing right now. So when you're on spam likely, that's probably what I'd start recommending. So just call your own number, and you'll see pretty fast if it's just going on or not. Let's see here. Charlotte in the house. Joaquin, hopefully I'm saying your name right there, says, can you explain why Seattle wasn't the move? For wholesaling real estate, Seattle's a really, really high priced market. I just don't think it's the move there. Seattle is it's very high priced, and I definitely can't recommend it right now. I think it's a very, very high priced market, and just the ROI is not there. But I just don't think it's there. So could Seattle work? Of course Seattle can work, but I don't think it's going to be working anytime soon. Unfortunately, that's just the way I see it. Could things change? Yes, obviously, but the price is it's too saturated there. So probably not. Let's see what else we got. The higher price point, most newbies are scared of the high numbers. Now, you can make the high numbers work. Like, you can make those numbers work. It's a lot tougher to do. So definitely for someone brand new, it's kind of tougher to, yeah. What is up, Kara? How are you? Hey, Zach, I have someone I sent a proof of funds showing they'll get 100% of price at closing, and now they're arguing a hard money lender is not the same as cash. What do I do? Get a cash buyer. Usually I would get a proof of funds from the cash buyer and use that if the cash buyer is okay with you doing that. That'd be my recommendation. Pump this chair up and down. Juan says, I'd rather deal with a sub 250K properties because they think it's easier. It is easier, but again, you're making less profit. So, I mean, what's truly easier? This sucks. I'm out. Bye, Sebastian. But the deals are wider spreads. That's true. Let's see. Thanks for the info, Juan. Juan's always killing it with the info. I appreciate him. He's awesome. Hey, Zach, 1,500 driving for dollars added. No deals yet. Contact rate is 11. What am I doing wrong? Drew, do me a favor. I do have a ton of questions. So 1,500 drive for dollars leads. What city, what market, what kind of skip tracing? Is this a single line dialer or triple line dialer? How many calls have you done? Have you done 1,500 calls? Let me know some info. Who's pulling the driving for dollars? Propstream also has an inheritance list feature that came out this year. I've looked in it. I found so much more success with pre-probates than with inheritance lists. I think with a lot of inheritances, they have trusts all set up. With the probates, it's a little more messy and they don't really want to deal with it. And you can kind of tailor it if that makes sense. So that's kind of why I like it better. Columbus, awesome. Pre-probate under owner, under filters on desktop for those pre-probate leads. Awesome. Juan is always showing value. So big shout out to Juan. Always helping the people out here. Tyler says, should we worry about years of ownership for the lien lists? I think after 2 years is fine. I think you should at least do two. Then after that, I don't think it's going to make a big deal or not, because I've had deals where they've owned it for 2 years, and I've had deals where they've owned it for 7. So I used to be like a hardliner on like 5 years, but really things have changed. So I'm not like a big fan of, oh, it's only got to be this or that. So I would say right now keep it at 2. I just think hey, the list is too big, pop it up to 5, but right now probably not. Tyler says, should we worry about year? Oh, we already asked that one. We're the top 3 to 5 list for creative financing. All right, Raphael, that's a great one. Pre-probates definitely is in there. High equity easily for lease options and other owner financing. And then I would say low equity. Really low equity and low ownership. So they've owned it for less than 2 years, and the equity is like 10% or less. That's a really good one. And a lot of texting is really good for that too, and cold calling. So that's sort of where I'm at. I mean, you can put some lien lists on there with high equity, but I'd put pre-foreclosures number 4 here. And then for 5, I would have to put in just free and clear houses. I would say free and clear houses, because you want them like kind of nice. So I would think a water shutoff's not going to be too nice. Should we worry about? Oh my gosh. Misha Baker asked a really good question here. Is ringless voicemail still a thing for wholesalers? It's still a thing. People are doing it. I don't recommend it right now. I'm not a big fan of RVMs. They're really cracking down on it in Florida, so I can't recommend it right now. They're cracking down hard in Florida, so I know that's a no for me, dog. How do you get the credit card list? You go to others in liens on Propstream, and you basically just click other, and it'll incorporate all the other liens. Most of them are going to be credit card debt list liens and IRS liens. There won't be any mechanics or something, because they have their own thing for mechanic liens. Elijah Wilson, what is up? Great question here. Is it bad if I'm getting only like 5 contacts an hour with a $3 line, or does it matter how many leads I'm getting? Okay, that's bad. That's really bad. Are you using Mojo, ZachTyler.com? What kind of dialer are you using? Because that's an absolutely terrible one. I would be looking at what dialer you're using. Yeah, geez, that's terrible. Darian says, I worry about not being able to answer certain questions, cold calling. Any advice? Thanks. I'm in Seattle. It's a very hard market. So, Darian, that's a good one. I would say, what kind of questions are you afraid? So, hey, you're going to buy my property. How can I trust you? What's the wholesaling process like? What's the process after we get something signed? Like, what kind of questions are we asking here? And I think it's going to change a lot of stuff for you. And it's just really confidence. I think there's not a lot of, just, you got to have confidence. So let me know what questions you're thinking. I can answer them right now. My team is doing 5 to 15 deals a month. It's doable here in Seattle. Juan is the man. Oh my gosh, I love to hear that. Alan, what is up, says, hi, Zach. Great content today. What's your top 3 marketing prospect methods? Again, direct mail, SMS, and cold calling. It's direct mail, SMS, and cold calling. Now, it's going to be SMS and cold calling for most people. Once you're starting to bump up your numbers, see if direct mail is going to work for you or not. If direct mail does work, then sure. But for a lot of people, it's not. So I can't recommend direct mail like 100%. But it's definitely going to change over time. So I would say those are the top 3 right now. And there's guys that do like, my gosh, they find motivated sellers from like Facebook groups, and they do messaging, and they do email. I'd like to keep it dumb and stupid, because that's kind of how I am. So I keep it very, very simple, my marketing, and it works pretty well. Alex says, is there a way to get a fake proof of funds? Yeah, you got Photoshop. You can do it pretty easy. I know people from Canva who can do it, but use a legit proof of funds. I wouldn't be lying to your sellers. I'm not a big fan of that. Kara says, I got proof of funds also from cash buyer, but they argued it's not under my name. So you just have a very, I've never been asked for proof of funds, like from cash buyers starting out, because I had so much confidence with them. So you probably have a very argumentative buyer, unless you're trying to buy like a $10 million multifamily. I don't think you're having an issue, and that's your partner, so I don't see where there's an issue there. Anyone there? I don't think they're motivated enough if they keep hammering like that. Anyone in Knoxville, Tennessee, like to connect in JV. Drew, as awesome. Cumberland says, Zach, I PM'd you about the deal I asked you to look at the other day. Can you check it out for me, please? I'm having a time with buyers. The ones I'm running into are not willing to disclose proof of funds. They lose their marbles when I ask. Okay, using Facebook? What's going on here? I PM'd you about this deal that I asked you to look at the other day. Can you check it out for me, please? Okay, give me the address, please, and I can check it out. I got to see it. I get a lot of messages. So I try to message me right now. See if I can put you on the top of the list. Yeah, it's DM me on here. I'll pop it up for you. Do you want me to underwrite it for you? Like I'm having a time with buyers. Yeah, let me know what you want me to do. Hit that like button. I love it. Sweet, sweet, sweet. What do I say? So, all right, here we are. Okay, so, all right, this person gave me an address to look at. So, okay, so I'll pop up the address for you. Let's see, 438. I don't know if this person wants me to put their thing on there, so I won't. All right. So this is a 3-2. This person's telling me no. Okay. The 3-2. Common comps are of 141. They're in the 40s. And I don't have any pictures of the inside. There's a comp next door for 127. Sold a year ago. I would say the ARV is like 140 on that. Ghost Black Project says, what do I say to a cash buyer when doing double closing if they ask if I'm the owner? What if they ask for the original? So what do I'm doing double close. They ask if I'm the owner. What if they ask for the original? A cash buyer shouldn't really care. They're buying the property. So of course you're not going to be the owner. You don't lie to them, because if you lie to them, like, here's the issue. You lie to them, they're going to see that your name's not on the deed, and then you're in double trouble there. So I wouldn't lie to them. You're just basically explaining that you're doing a double closing. Okay. So I think you just explained to the cash buyer that it's a double closing. If they ask for the original contract, it's another beeswax, because you're going to be the owner when you're doing it. So you're selling for this price, and that's it. You're not assigning it, so you don't have to really deal with it. So it's good. Drew, I'm in that market. Awesome. Robert says, that's a good question. How many calls should you do a day if you're doing it yourself or Mojo? Trying to think. So 2 to 7, that's 5 hours. 500 to 1,000. It really depends on how big of a dial you're going to be doing and what kind of list, and if where your contract rate's going to be. That's really what I've seen. JN or Doob. When polling lists, what follow-up analytics are you using to identify hot areas in individual markets? That's actually a great question. So hot areas is different. Okay, so let me try to explain hot areas. So there's areas in markets that are like, they're going up in value a lot, which is great, But again, sometimes that's not the best for wholesaling. You really want to go after cash transactions. And cash transactions, I use list source for freewholesaling.com. I sort of break this down, so let me put this on the top. So freewholesaling.com, I kind of show you how to use list source and everything in there to actually just identify where the cash sales are. Hot markets to me is where a lot of cash sales are being done, not where like there's increased value, because you're going to find like gentrified areas and things like that. So I'd probably stay away from there, because you're having properties that are worth 50,000 being turned into like 1.2 million, like median price. So I'd be very careful with that. Like let's say all my Miami people, like everyone knows where like the Wynwood walls are. Those used to be very like the price of those in that area was very low, and now they're like insanely high. So it's not like, oh, I got wholesale there, do great. It's probably not the best. You want to go where a lot of cash transactions are being done. So list source is a really good for that one. Prayers, awesome. Brandon, I think. What's up? Hey, Zach, my cash buyer is a shark, bro. He will not let up with screwing me out of deals, but I'm having a hard time finding buyers in my market. Bro, go to you're in Fort Pierce. Go to Facebook, dude. Seriously, go to Facebook. That's the easiest thing. Like Facebook, they're all on Facebook, man. That's what I would say, dude. And go to Real Estate Investing Association. They're not the best in St. Lucie, but they'll still be there. Find realtors. Get rid of the shark. Oh, let's see. Juan says, so far the things we have in common is getting rich in info and money to give it away. Equality and opportunity. I love it. Knowledge is the new money. Let's see here. All right, where is it? All right. How many contacts should I be getting if I'm working a regular 9-to-5 cold calling high? If I'm maybe 500. It really depends. Maybe 100 an hour if you're doing triple. Like you said, you're working a regular 9-to-5, but are you cold calling from 9-to-5? Or are you working 9-to-5 and then cold calling 5-to-6? There's a lot of variables on that. So kind of get back into some info. I can try to help you out. Gracias, Juan, for great information. What's a good number of addresses to cold call? I would say over 1,000. I would probably keep it over 1,000, Brandon. That's probably what I'd say. Raphael says, you're the man, Zach. Raphael, your support helps me so much. I truly appreciate it. You guys don't know what you've done just to help me out. And so you guys are obviously the GOATs. You guys are on Facebook promoting all the stuff we promote, and all the stuff we try to do to change the wholesaling industry together. So thank you. I appreciate it, guys. It means a lot. So thank you, Raphael. You're amazing. All of you guys watching this right now are amazing. I see the people ticking up on here watching. It truly means a lot. So thank you guys so much. I am so honored that you guys even just give me your most valuable asset, which is your time watching this stuff. And I try to give you the best I can, whatever I got my brain to help for the day. That's what I try. So I give people StreamYard links. Hop on here. I gave it at the beginning. Hop on, do a video chat with me for free. I don't care. I just want to help the people out, give the info out to help everyone. So if you guys got a question, comment. Like I'm just going bullet points even through all the comments on here. Even though someone, like, we got a little bit of trolls going on, nothing too crazy, but I'm going through all the comments one by one, trying to make sure I don't miss anyone, because I'm trying to give as much value as I can for the people. I want to put the gurus out of business. The gurus are sleeping right now. They're all in their mastermind. So I'm able to come here while the gurus aren't going live and really help the people out. So I think it's hilarious. Darian, hit me up. More than 3 years, no deal. Why? Why say big word when few word do trick? I need more info, man. That was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, that's 7 words on that's a huge problem. Um, Amar, the way I'll explain this is if you've done this for 3 years, you really got to do an audit of your time. And are you pulling the right list? Are you in the right market? What kind of marketing have you done? And you really got to truly like look at yourself. How many hours per week have I dedicated to marketing? Which is going to be literally the life source of you getting your deals or not. You really got to see if you're doing it right or not. And most of the time you're not. So when it comes to pulling Propstream list, I know guys that, I pull Propstream forever and I'm not getting no success in it. Like, hey, why aren't you? Oh, well, I make sure the ownership is at max. I don't go to anyone unless they've owned the property for 15 years. I'm like, 15 years? What? And they're like, oh, yeah, I won't deal with anyone unless they've owned it unless for a minimum 15 years. I'm like, that's your problem. So a lot of it comes down to just the little things. That is why I'm here trying to help you. So I need more info. It helped me out a lot. An idea how to pull the eviction list. It's from the Clerk of the Court Ghost Black Project. Awesome. Elijah says, I use call tools. Seems pretty good. I've used Batch Dialer and Mojo is better than those. So if you're using a triple line dialer, it's probably the list and the skip tracing you got wrong. So let me know where you're actually getting it from. Facebook user says, do you filter out divorce leads and IRS leads and credit card leads that don't own a property? If not, how do you approach them in a cold call since you don't know if they own a house or not? This is a really good one. So divorce leads, IRS leads, and credit card leads are all in Propstream. So they'll actually see if they'll actually look through the deeds for you and the property appraisers and all the assessors and all the websites on there actually see if you're actually there or not. That's huge. That's why I love Propstream. It saves you so much time. So yeah, I would say that's the power of Propstream. And honestly, between you and me, I hope Propstream doesn't hear me when I say this, but I'm going to say it right now. Probably in 5 years or 4 years, there's probably going to be a better service than Propstream. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. Like, there probably is. Propstream's probably going to kill me for saying that. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Propstream's like Google, like in 2010, and it's just going to grow bigger and better. But like most statistically looking at it, like Deal Machine used to be the biggest drawing for dollars thing, and that was the juggernaut. And then Propstream just came out their own thing, and in my opinion, I think it blew it away. So it's like the BlackBerry phones. Oh my gosh, BlackBerry phone's the only thing I'm ever going to do. I got Apple iPhones, and that's way better. And then everyone's, I got a Samsung 8K camera. I'm like, I got an 8K camera too. It looks nothing not like yours. Guys, don't get too married to a software. That's one thing I could tell you. Of course, I'm huge into Propstream right now, but it might change. Like, you never know. But I'm only going to promote really the stuff I use. So if I use another service, I'll tell you about it. But for right now, in this moment for 2022, it's all Propstream right now. It's been amazing the past year or two using it. So it's really good. Everybody's on Facebook. You got to get on the YouTube chat. When you have both seller and buyer signature, how do they both go to title? So, Brandon, that's a great question here. The way we do this is we put under contract. We go to the title company with our contract and also with our earnest money deposit. Then we go get the cash buyer, get assignment, and then bring that to the title company. And then closing, of course, they go to the title company from there. What do you ask? Wait, what do you when they, okay. All right. I gotta translate this. What do you when they ask what is the process after we sign? So what I'm guessing you're saying is, what do you do when they ask what's the process after we sign? I'm assuming you're talking to a seller. Basically, hey, Mr. Seller, thank you for signing. What we're going to do is I'm going to bring this contract, this agreement to the title company. From there, Mary Beth, she's the lady there. She's going to be pulling the title paperwork. She's going to get my money, our partner's money, and then we're going to put it in a third party. We're going to put that in escrow. And then at the day of the closing that we both agree on, you're going to get paid from it. She's going to help you throughout the entire process. She's amazing. Checking the title's all good. Make sure you're legitimate owners. Trust me, I kind of looked at it. You look good, but we're just going to make sure it's all good and clean. We're going to run the title, and then we're going to do closing, and you're going to get your money. make sure you know that they're going to call you some information, see if you want to wire or check, whatever type of payments you want, and kind of help you with the whole process of it, the deeds, all that confusing stuff they're going to help you with. And they're pretty legitimate. They've helped me with X amount of deals, whatever you've done. And then that is the whole process. Do you have any questions, but like before I head off of the entire process? And then you answer all the questions and go from there. You want the seller to feel very comfortable. That's the one thing I found. You want them to feel sure and correct about the process, because of course you got me. You're going to help me. Looking to network in Orlando. That's awesome, Robert. Would love to connect. Joe's got a great question here. I think it's a pretty good one here. All right. Where is it? Joe asks here, what are your thoughts on the Columbus, Ohio market? That's a good one. Columbus, Ohio is an interesting one. It's a big market. It's not a college town, but a lot of college kids are there. It's weird to kind of define a market like that as a rental market, as it not. I think it's the suburbs there and the county is pretty good. I still think it's a good one. It's a little saturated. It's very saturated, but I think it's still a pretty good market. How do I reformat the list after I export it from Propstream so I can upload it to my SMS? You got to put it on Google Excel or Google Sheets, and it'll help you out. You just format it from there and export it as a CSV file. Your SMS provider, whatever you use, Batch Leads or something, SMSZach.com will help you out with that one. Stephen Washington says, do you filter out divorce and IRS? I think we answered that one. Propstream does that. Alex says, how often do you repoll lists? Great one here. I repoll lists basically monthly on really new niche ones, not every 3 months for everything else. Melissa says, is it generally better to filter for off-market or on-market? I want to filter out on-market properties out of it. So if I got all my properties, make sure nothing's on the MLS. Tyler asks, do you just use the quick list choice for tired landlords? Yes, but then I'll further edit it in there. It helps me a lot doing that. Dwight Walker says, is JVing with other wholesalers a good way to start? I just want to start on the disposition side. Yeah, I think JVing with other wholesalers is good to start. It'd be nice to get your feet wet on some own deals from yourself, because you're going to do some deals with them that you're going to be paying a lot of equity. So I'd be careful with that. See here, Mike Chan says, do you filter out divorce? Oh my gosh. Sorry to answer that. Propstream does it. Amazing, man. Thank you, Zach. Augustine, you're awesome. Thank you. Joe says, what avenue do you use to contact pre-probates? Obviously, you can't contact the owner. So that's a great one there. So with pre-probates, you want to skip tracing using a skip tracing site that also gives you relatives information. And the secret niche to that is when you're polling this list, you're going to skip trace the deceased person. It's very, very counterintuitive to how you're actually supposed to do it, I know, for regular skip tracing. But when you're using a service like that, what's going to happen is they are actually going to poll the relatives of the deceased, and then we're going to cold call that one. So there's a lot of services that do it. So I'm trying to see what the best one is, but overall, there's a lot of great services out there. Just ask the skip tracing provider if they do it or not. Elijah says, calling 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. How many times should I be reaching the actual homeowner? You said 5 an hour. 5 an hour is bad, so I don't know what I'm wrong. My numbers aren't flagged. Elijah, please let me know what list you're pulling and the type of skip tracing. That's kind of how I can try to figure it out. Because 5 an hour is like insanely low. Like I can go call. I can go poll, like I can go get a hold of 15 people in an hour right now. So you're awesome, bro. Anyone in the Washington market, a lot of people are. Let's see here. Where are we at? All right. Caesar says, what is up, Caesar? How are you? Thanks for hopping on tonight with us. Today. Hey, Zach, how many times do you try to cold call someone, or how many attempts before you REI real estate skip trace the record or try different marketing? Oh, re-skip trace. If I can't get a hold of them cold calling, I'll definitely give them an SMS text blast with smszac.com. But I would say, I mean, I hit them pretty well. Like I hit them with a cold call, SMS, and then with a postcard, even an offer on the offer postcard.com. But if they want to answer the cold call and they're on a list, I don't think the re-skip tracing is going to change unless like there's this crazy thing you drove by the house and it's like a really insane property, and then you just knock on the door. Then that's right, or message them on Facebook. Awesome. Juan's got a good point here. Like White Pages has really good relatives info, and True People Search actually does that too. Alex Purdy says, "How do you deal with unbuildable land there? Landable there is a lot in Central Florida. A lot of Central Florida is actually like owned by farms. I know you go a little more south than that. It's a lot of sugarcane land, a lot of old money in Florida. So I would say you got to find the right buyer. They're very rare breeds. A lot of farmland type. So I'd probably try to call those corporations and ask. It's a tough one. Like unbuildable land in Florida is very hard. A lot of it's swamp land. It's all wet. When I mean wet, it's like it's all marsh type thing. It's a mess. And they got to make sure it's not like government protected. Like you can't even go basically like, what is it? Like the southwest part of all of Florida is basically Everglades. So Zach, you use smartphone with Podio? No. LO the offense rep. Guys, I've watched The Office so many stinking times. Of course. I put in references all the time. Just not because I'm trying to be funny, just how I do it. Awesome. Have you got batch leads for list? Yes, I've used them before. I'm kind of still experimenting it with different stuff, trying to see. I'm with list. I'm with using Propstream right now. All right. So Dwight Walker Jr. says, "What are your thoughts on building up my buyers list first and javing with other wholesalers who have deals locked up already?" That works. The other way around will net you more money, but it still works. So that's definitely one I'm not going to say no to. Ghost Black Project, what is up? I just wanted to share what has been working for me lately. Code violations, fire, water damaged, estate moving sales. I wholesale part-time, but still close 3 to 5 deals monthly. That's awesome. Congrats. Woo! Sawgit says, how would you deal with a seller with a lien? And he keeps saying it's taking a while to figure out how much it is. Propstream will show you. So kind of answered it from there. Let's see here. Foyuf, finally able to catch a live. Congrats. Zach, I work Monday through Saturday dealership hours. I went out and into wholesaling so bad. I never have time. I leave work at 11 at night sometimes. What should I do? I would probably start leveraging VAs for cold calling, honestly. And then on Sundays, just try to do acquisitions, get people driving for dollars for you. Either in this business, you have time or money. And obviously, you probably got some time. You got some money, but not time. So I'd leverage the money for time with VAs. Freewholesaling.com's got it all. Let's see here. Can you still file FOIA for any that refuses to give you a list when you ask them? For a government list, yes. And then Redfin or Zillow. Redfin for comps, it's better skip trades, Propstream, and batch. I like batch leads. I've just found it's a better contact rate for me slightly. So I like batch. Propstream still isn't too bad though. And then batch dialer or Zen call. Batch dialer, so that's zachdialer.com. Zach dialer, Z-A-C-H dialer.com. But overall, I don't think it's that big of a difference. You're pinching pennies. I think they're really using the same services. So that's really what I've seen. But that's it, guys. Those are my top Propstream lists. Guys, get pulling these lists right now. I truly think we can make a huge difference pulling the right lists and knowing how to contact these sellers correctly. So this is Zach Ginn signing out. I really appreciate you guys watching this. Please smash that like button and subscribe. I truly appreciate it. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Let's talk about tax liens and